Clint Black, good morning.
Good morning.
Man, this is such a treat for me to talk to you, and I'm going to be really excited to have you in town here in Wichita. December 3rd at the Orpheum, second annual Mostly Hits and the Misses tour featuring you, of course, your wife Lisa, and daughter Lily. And I've got to be completely honest right out of the gate, Clint, and I got to fall on my sword here a little bit. When we started talking about this shows you how a little slow I am sometimes. I didn't quite make the connection on the play on words of hits and misses. And I was actually live on air, and all of a sudden the light bulb went off, and I'm like, "Oh, you dummy!" Anyway,
Yeah, a little. I kind of designed it to sort of mean two things, and so you were tuned into the one thing.
Yeah, I was. Thanks for contributing to what was a pretty funny break on air. Hey, happy belated happy belated anniversary to you and your wife. 31
Thanks.
years. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Very lucky.
Other than writing and performing an iconic love song together, what's been the secret to 31 years of marriage?
Good communication. You know, you can start out with love and passion and all of that stuff, but unless you grow together, you'll grow apart. And so, we practice the Roy Rogers. When he found out we were getting married, he said, "I'll give you one piece of advice: don't ever go to bed angry."
Mm-hmm.
And there's so much wisdom in that because over time, you may forget exactly what you were angry about or disagree on the details, but you'll still carry that negativity around, and it can build up. And so get rid of it day by day. And a lot of times it's just confusion. And I think, you really have to assume the best of your mate and don't just take for granted that they intended to make you feel whatever you're feeling. Now, a lot of times, you could say, when you looked at me that way, I knew you were mad at me. You go, "Oh no, I just had a cramp, or whatever, And so give each other the chance and learn that, two people can't live together their whole lives without bothering one another at some point. So, you have to take this for granted, and, it just all really comes down to communication.
Yeah, I love that advice. Very good. Between us boys, you didn't ever forget an anniversary, did you?
I did not.
Oh, good for you.
Isn't that a dangerous thing to do?
Right? You ain't lying.
Yeah.
So you just talked about how you used the line, you said, two people can't live together without kind of bothering each other or getting on each other's nerves. So at a time when some of your fellow country artists or your peers are out touring with other artists, you choose to tour with your family. What are some of the challenges presented when touring with your family?
Well, first of all, it's the best. I don't get homesick when they're out on the road with me.
Okay.
And, Lisa and I, 31 years together, locked down together in the pandemic, we do fine. We're, put us together on a bus, or in a lockdown, and we're fine. Our daughter's a little more dramatic, and she's new at the whole communication thing, being new to the planet, right? 21 years old.
Right.
But we've taught her well, of our philosophies and our ways of doing things. And she's a very kind person. So we all just get along well. And when there is any drama, we talk about it. And, but the whole, having them out on the road thing, it's just a special thing to share as a family. And, being able to, we have days off out there, and I have to go to Target, and that's something we do at home, but I never go to Target on the road. I may get out and do things, but I'm not going to Target or Walmart typically, and so it's like I'm in my family life out on the road. So it's a hybrid thing. But then we have these shows where we get up and perform. I get to see my wife come out, and they have like 5 wardrobe changes each, so they're always coming out in these fantastic outfits. My wife is gorgeous. My daughter is gorgeous, and I adore her, and I'm dad, so
sure.
I'm watching my daughter on stage sing with this amazing voice, and I have to remember to be cool, and not be dad over there and just be a guy in the band,
Beaming with
backing
pride.
her up. I have to be careful about all that beaming stuff,
Right.
or it's just, this isn't about me and my daughter,
I love it.
So I have all of this stuff that's just fantastic. And, I could be out with some, guy with a beard on tour. I
Sure.
have done that,
Sure.
and, doing shows with Cody Jinks, and that's all fun, but it's not like this.
Yeah.
It's just something special.
I get that. You mentioned the outfit changes. Are you pretty much same outfit the entire show?
I roll up my sleeve.
That's about as
I
big as
gotta
the
tell
wardrobe
you.
change goes.
That's my fanciness.
All right, I love it. You picked up the harmonica and the guitar as a teenager. Has there ever been an instrument over the years you've wanted to play and just couldn't get the hang of it?
Yeah, I played drums too. I used to play in the encore. We would do a song, and I'd get back on the drums and play something about the hardest thing I knew.
Okay.
And so I love doing that, but I'm not really a drummer. Piano, I would love to be able to play piano, just not enough to practice.
A couple of things by memory.
I'd love to be able to do that. Well, would you love it enough to practice a lot? No, not that much.
Yeah, just enough to when you're walking through Target and you see one of the synthesizers on sale, you can turn it on and just play a little thing and walk on, right?
I can play Hit the Road Jack, and that's it.
I love it. So you decided to create your own coffee brand during the pandemic. Seems kind of random. I mean, where did you get the idea for this passion for coffee?
Oh, well, I love coffee, and I'm very particular about it. I like strong but not bitter. And a buddy of mine I've known for years is in the coffee business, and he used to say, you have the right name for being in the coffee business.
Right.
You should be. And so I got him to help me find a roaster. And I would just send it out to friends and family at Christmas as my little hobby. And so many of them wanted to know where they could get more. That when the pandemic happened and I lost my day job, I said, I'm going to do it. I'm just going to do it. It's available online and, through my website or clintblackcoffee.com. And, a couple of stores. I had a buddy in Nashville that carried it in his store. And, it wasn't intended to be, I'm a coffee mogul now, but
right.
People who really love good coffee enjoy it because it's really done well, but it's also fresh. We roast it as we go, so you're not getting stuff. Coffee can have a long shelf life, but we don't like long shelf life. We like fresh.
Certainly. And people will pay a little extra for a really good cup of coffee, real good pour of whiskey, whatever. So you have definitely found your thing. Also, you got this talk show going on, and I'm kind of interested as the third season of your talk show, Talking in Circles, has kicked off on the Circle Network. You've been interviewed a million times, but how difficult was it to make the transition to being the interviewer?
Well, it was tough at first because I wanted to do it really well, and I wanted my guests to feel like I would want to feel walking on a show with a fellow artist, and so I just worked hard at preparation, and once you do that, preparation is what is it? The design of the residue of luck is the residue of hard work and preparation.
Sure.
So I thought if I really prepare well, I can just relax, and I was able to do that. But I do put the pressure on myself to know a thing or two and have a place to go where they don't normally go.
Right.
These were designed to be like the conversations we'd have backstage. And, if we're standing around backstage, I'm not going to be, asking Brad Paisley about his, platinum record
right.
plaques. We're going to be talking gear and process and
right.
things like that, or just funny things that happen on the road that we tell each other about. And so the network has encouraged me to really go out into the weeds. And, if I have Joe Bonamassa on, I want to talk about guitars,
yes,
string action and things like that. And the network is all for it, which, they made me feel that way from the beginning, but they kept making me feel that way.
Good.
So it's really, really feeling to have that sort of freedom.
Yeah, that sort of encouragement is super important. A couple of holidays coming up here. First of all, Halloween is the closest one to now. What candy did you hate getting in your trick-or-treat bag when you were a kid?
Oh, the hard candy, like, hard sour candy.
Yes.
I like the candy bars.
Okay, yeah. Keep them Jolly Ranchers in the bowl. Give me them candy bars.
Yeah.
Now your show is December 3rd here in town, close to Christmas. You got a favorite Christmas song, traditional or otherwise?
Well, I've got an entire Christmas collection of my original Christmas songs I've written over the years, and Lily sang one of them. My daughter. It's called "Magical Christmas." I was written for the female lead in the play I produced, and so that one really gets me. My buddy Steve Warner wrote and conducted the string arrangement for it, so I get to hear all this talent, and I'm not doing anything, and so typically I don't really like to listen to myself that much. I've heard it. So I move on and listen to other people.
Right.
But there is one song that still feels fresh that I just did a few years ago for Hasbro with their Transformers Rescue Bots. They wanted a holiday song, and it's called "Light the Fire."
Nice.
And it's got a fantastic orchestral arrangement on it, which I don't do a lot of. So I really enjoy hearing that, and the message. They wanted it to be universal, so it's a holiday song and not a Christmas song. But I worked in enough, references in there for my own self.
Yeah, I love it. You are very diverse.
I still enjoy that.
Very diversified with your brand, for sure. All right. Now, I read that your maternal grandmother was from Italy, and I've got to ask, because I love to cook. Did any of those great recipes get passed down? Like, did she have a secret recipe for her gravy or, anything like that?
Yep. You call it gravy. We call it sauce, pasta sauce.
Sure.
And I still make it today and share it with friends. I've never been in a restaurant where I had anything close to it.
You're right.
So I can still enjoy all the other gravies, but the one my mom taught me is the best.
Yeah, I love that.
And I'll tell you, one of the secrets to it is the green bell peppers.
Okay.
And then cooking it forever.
Yep.
I'll cook a pasta sauce for 3 days.
Nice.
And then the real variable is the different meats.
Sure.
Sometimes I'll go with just beef, or sometimes I'll combine beef and pork, and sometimes a little spicy, not much.
Sure.
So that's the variable, and I can change it up depending on who I'm feeding.
Okay, I appreciate you sharing that partial secret with me. So, what would you be doing if you hadn't pursued a career in country music?
Probably something that requires a lot of sweat.
Okay.
And not a lot of brains.
Okay.
I have dreamed of being an astronaut when I was a teenager, and my plan was to join the Air Force and work my way into it.
Right.
The way a lot of astronauts do.
Well,
but I had singer's grades, so they wouldn't have let me near anything important. and in fact, I actually the only reason I ever got to fly in a fighter jet is because I would sing on military bases.
the perks.
So my singing got me up there closer to it than academics could have.
Sure. All right. Well, listen, Clint Black, great talking with you. We could sit here and chat for hours, but I know you got to move on. Your show is coming up Saturday, December 3rd at the Orpheum, second annual Mostly Hits and the Misses, featuring you, your wife Lisa, your daughter Lily. Get the tickets still available and still on sale now, and it's going to sell out at selectaseat.com. Pleasure speaking with you. Look forward to seeing you in December.
You too, JJ. Thanks.